Brad Little is blasting the Idaho legislature over efforts to limit emergency declaration power. We hear from Governor Little on how this hurts Idaho residents during the pandemic. Now, the Idaho Senate GOP is also responding. Plus, today, the city of Spokane is still managing cleanup from last week's massive windstorm. We'll bring you the latest updates and the progress that's being made.
We're expecting some chilly temperatures for this weekend. I'm tracking some sunshine, but also a little bit of snow.
And the Washington Potato Company in Warden is destroyed after a fire. Now all evacuations are lifted, and we hear from residents who had to rush out to get to safety. Thanks for joining us this evening. I'm Joshua Robinson, and new at 6 o'clock tonight, all 8 regions in Washington will remain in phase 1 of Governor Jay Inslee's roadmap to recovery reopening plan. That restriction is going to stay in effect until at least Monday, February 1st. And a new roadmap to recovery dashboard is also live now on coronavirus.wa.gov. Spokane is in the East region and today met 2 of the governor's goals toward reopening. Today's data shows the trend in case rate is up 12%. The trend in hospital admissions rate is down 20%. The percent of ICU occupancy is 82%. And the percent of positivity in terms of testing is 21%. Looking to Idaho this evening, several bills are making their way through the state house, including one that would curb the executive branch's authority in times of emergency. Today, Governor Brad Little criticized the Idaho legislature, saying their efforts to limit his ability to make emergency declarations will put more Idahoans at risk during the pandemic. Little says Idaho stands to lose tens of millions of dollars in federal emergency money that would be used to assist in the fight against the virus.
It means the vaccine rollout is jeopardized, something that is unacceptable in this final stretch of our pandemic fight. It means cities and counties will have to find funds from you to pay for equipment and support they need to battle COVID-19 in your community. It means hospitals could lose access to critical supplies.
Now, these legislative efforts also come as the governor has authorized more Idaho National Guard soldiers to help with the state's response to increased vaccine distribution. Governor Little is asking Idahoans to contact their state legislators in order to stop the bills. Today, House Republicans issued a statement in response to the governor's comments, and that statement reads in part, "Our members are working on various forms of legislation to help the state on its road to the recovery that Idahoans have been demanding for months, and we call on the governor to work with us in this process." Tonight, the Idaho Senate GOP is also responding to Governor Little's statements, and their statement says in part, the Senate has not advanced any legislation that would jeopardize federal funding. We are working to address the genuine concerns of many Idahoans while at the same time maintaining federal dollars for our National Guard response, critical assistance to our rural hospitals, school districts, and other community COVID-19 response needs. Meanwhile, in Washington, Governor Jay Inslee and his wife Trudy received their first dose of the COVID vaccine today. They got their vaccine at an assisted living facility in Olympia. The governor and his wife are eligible under Phase 1B of the state's vaccine rollout. On Monday, the age threshold lowered from 70 to 65, and Inslee is 69. The governor said he could not be more thrilled after getting the vaccine. The Washington State Department of Health also announced yesterday that all Washington nursing home residents who have opted in have now received their first dose. The mass vaccination site at the Spokane Arena is expected to be up and running next Wednesday. Right now, organizers are waiting for the vaccine to arrive, and the opening date is dependent on when it arrives. Chaz health leaders tell us they anticipate receiving the Pfizer vaccine. Once open, it will be an indoor operation by appointment only. As for how to schedule those appointments, that is still in the works. Spokane Regional Health District is also working on the operation, as is the Washington National Guard. And to track the coronavirus, Spokane Regional Health District is reporting 188 new cases today. 6 new deaths were also reported. Currently, 105 people are hospitalized in Spokane due to the virus. As we look in North Idaho now, the Panhandle Health District is reporting 86 new coronavirus cases today. 1 new death has been reported, and right now, 54 people are in the hospital due to the virus. We now know that Chaz Health will be leading operations for that mass vaccination clinic at the Spokane Arena, but many of us are anxiously waiting for the day when the coronavirus vaccine is available, and we're wondering where we can get our shots in Washington and Idaho. Let's break down what we know today. Right now, Washington State is currently in phase 1B. This phase has been expanded to include people age 65 or older and people age 50 or older who are living in multi-generational households to receive the vaccine. The second priority group, or Tier 2, is expected to gain access to the vaccine next month. Tier 2 includes high-risk critical workers age 50 or older. Tier 3 includes people between the ages of 16 and 70 with 2 or more underlying health conditions. They will be eligible in March. And Tier 4 includes high-risk critical workers who are under age 50, as well as staff and volunteers of all ages who work in living facilities. And that is expected to open up sometime in April. After that, phases 2 through 4 are expected to extend from May through December. Looking across state line, here's when you'll be able to get the vaccine in Idaho. Right now, Group 1 includes healthcare workers and employees at living facilities who are eligible now to receive the vaccine. The next phase will shift to teachers, grocery workers, and first responders. That group is expected to receive the vaccine sometime through January 31st, followed by people 65 and older who will receive their shots sometime between February 1st and the 15th. Group 3 will include people between the ages of 16 and 64 with medical conditions who will be eligible to get their shots in April. And the last group will be the general public, which is expected to open up in May. And if you would like a list of COVID-19 vaccine locations and where to sign up online, you can text the word vaccine to 509-448-2000 and we'll get you the latest information right to your phone. Meanwhile, the deadly windstorm from January 13th left 2 people dead as it devastated Spokane and left widespread damage across the inland Northwest. And the cleanup is far from over. Our Morgan Trow is the latest on how the cleanup process is going and how much destruction the city has left to clean.
It's much easier to clean up tree branches than it is a full ponderosa pine, which is why the city is still calculating the amount of damage more than a week after the windstorm. The city finished their cleanup of trees and branches in public rights-of-way 4 days after the deadly storm, but the tons of tree debris on residential properties just keep adding up.
Just at waste energy alone, 350 tons or so of tree material.
Those 350 tons are just from residents bringing in their homes' tree debris, and it makes up only a portion of the tree damage in the city. Public Works Marlene Feist says about 900 customers have disposed of their branches, but numbers are still coming in for the city's right-of-way debris, curbside residential pickup, and park disposal.
In the public right-of-way, we ended up with around 250 locations where we had to deal with trees or tree debris. 100 dump truckloads of tree debris being moved out of city neighborhoods on a daily basis for a couple days.
Since the process is ongoing, there is no definite numbers to how much more destruction needs to be taken care of. She assumes it's going to be in the triple digits of tons, maybe even quadruple of tons. In comparison to the 2015 storm, Feist says the city was much more prepared as it wasn't as severe, but it did have its own challenges that may have cost the city more money.
Because in the pandemic, we did have more limitations on how we could, provide assistance. We did bring extra crews on, so it wasn't just the street department.
They brought in more people and held numerous free drop-offs and pickups that normally would cost money. Feist says since they are working with parks, they cannot calculate the total cost until the division has fully cleaned up their areas. She estimates we will know the total in early February. You are still able to freely dispose of your tree debris at the waste management facility until the end of the month. Reporting at Comstock Park, Morgan Trow, KREM 2 News.
Well, the sun has gone down for the day, but it was a pretty sunny and pretty cool Friday, and the weather is about to change with those temps. Snow is in the forecast for the inland Northwest, and for that, let's check in with meteorologist Michelle Boss. Just how much snow are we expecting to see, Michelle?
Well, Well, luckily this is going to be a light snow event, so we don't have to worry about any big heavy snows for those folks still cleaning up after the windstorm. But I have something a little bit for everybody for this weekend. If you need some vitamin D, we've got that. If you need snow, we've got that too. But right now things are pretty quiet across the inland Northwest. Satellite and radar showing mostly clear skies across most of eastern Washington and North Idaho. Still seeing some low clouds hanging tight around the Pullman area and south towards Lewiston. We'll likely see that stick around overnight as we see some potentially areas of fog developing, and it might be creeping up to the Spokane area as well. But most folks should get into some sunshine by tomorrow afternoon. It's not going to be particularly warm, though, even with sun. In fact, temperatures right now as the sun has set are falling pretty rapidly, already below freezing in Spokane right now at 30 degrees, but already in the 20s in Deer Park, Sandpoint, and Coeur d'Alene. Below freezing now in Moses Lake and Pullman, 36 in Lewiston. Here's a look at the next 12 hours. Mostly clear skies tonight, but again, we could see some patchy fog developing across parts of the city. We're expecting overnight lows to drop down into the teens, so it'll certainly be a cold start. High temperatures not getting above freezing on Saturday, even with a fair amount of sunshine. Snow on the way for late Sunday afternoon and evening, and will last until early Monday morning, but only light amounts, 1, maybe 2 inches. High temperatures, though, stay right around that freezing mark on Sunday and Monday, highs in the low 30s.